welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for March the 17th of 2020. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I've got my green flannel on, my lucky shirt that literally says lucky shirt. I'm a big fan of that one. And my green screen is struggling in the back, but today's show must roll on because this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right here on YouTube and podcast services around the world. So if you enjoy the show, you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. And of course, today we are talking all about the big PlayStation 5 reveal event coming tomorrow, which is promising to bring some pretty big news for the PlayStation fans just days after Xbox revealed Xbox Series X details, including just how powerful the console was and much, much more. But we'll dive into that and more on today's show. Before we do that, I do want to actually dive into a discussion we had yesterday. The Xbox Series X controller. I discussed on yesterday's episode the controller design, and I said I think this could be a rechargeable controller, and I also said that I would be deeply disappointed if Xbox continued to go with the AA battery design. Lo and behold, I had Austin Evans' head up on my 65-inch 4K TV last night, deep into the night, watching a pretty much tear down / rebuild of the Xbox Series X and its peripheral. Lo and behold, for some mind-boggling, mind-bending reason, Microsoft has chosen to go with the Xbox Series X AA battery powered controller. I have no idea why. I don't know if there's a partnership between Microsoft and Duracell. I don't know if they've gotten some kind of blood sacrifice in line with the Battery Confederation. I don't know what's happening there, but that is ridiculous. It is 2020, where we have literally a climate crisis, and you are concerned about AA batteries, which many people just throw away without recycling or disposing of in the appropriate manner. And on top of that, they cost money. They cost a lot of money. Do you know how much money I've spent over the course of the past 10 years on AA batteries for my Xbox 360 and Xbox One controllers? Not to mention my Wii nunchucks. Let's not even talk about that. Oh, I hate it so much. I really do. But hey, all that to say, I still like the design. I still like the D-pad. I still like where they're headed. But man, that AA design just, horrible move. Now, also worth mentioning, it seems that all of the peripherals for the Xbox One will be forwards compatible with the Xbox Series X, so if you have purchased battery packs, then they are likely going to be able to be used on the new controller, but still, just, ditch that stuff, man. It's getting way out of style. But moving on to today's actual piece of news, PlayStation 5 system details are coming tomorrow via a live stream. And we're off! Just 2 days after Microsoft lifted the lid on its Xbox Series X technical specs and lots more besides, Sony will talk about the PlayStation 5. PlayStation hardware architect Mark Cerny will present a deep dive into PlayStation 5's system architecture and how it will shape the future of games, which you will be able to watch via the PlayStation blog tomorrow. Tune in at 4 p.m. UK time for the show. We will be reporting live, they say, at Eurogamer, and of course that is actually going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, right on, of course, the PlayStation blog. I would assume it's also going to be on Twitch and YouTube, but don't quote me on that. It seems that the blog is the best place to go as of right now. Now, with all of that being said, what are we going to expect of tomorrow's show? What can you anticipate? First and foremost, what can you not anticipate? A release date, and I'll tell you why. Bobby Kowecki, a friend of mine, another content creator, hit me up on Twitter and said, what if they revealed a release date? That is the worst move they could possibly make right now because of the uncertainty of the manufacturing process. If you reveal any kind of release date for the next generation console, whether it be the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, you are inevitably setting consumers up for disappointment because, quite frankly, the coronavirus has had such an impact on everything around the world, from the average workplace to manufacturing warehouses to restaurants and everything in between. It is impossible to pinpoint a specific date at which you expect to have enough stock to satisfy the entire market. If this were to launch on, say, November the 12th, just throwing a number out there, it would inevitably have some kind of issue, whether it be a shortage of consoles, whether it be price inflation, whether it be some kind of price gouging even, where somebody buys 5 of these things if there's only 10 available in their town and they sell them for $2,500 a piece on eBay. You are going to have tons of issues, and I think that's why we're not going to be seeing a release date on tomorrow's program. More than likely, I think they are going to be showing off the PlayStation 5 hardware. We are going to get a definitive comparison between the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, talking about which one is more powerful, talking about which one has more processing power, talking about the features that set the PlayStation 5 apart from the Xbox Series X. Why should I go with one over the other? That's the kind of information we are going to be getting from tomorrow's program, and I'm very excited to dive in and give it a watch. Now, of course, I'll be watching it live. I will not be streaming it, of course. I'll be taking in everything, and we'll talk about it on tomorrow's episode of the Jampack Report. But man, what a time. It's starting to heat up, and I'm very excited. I'm ready for these digital events, especially as we get plenty of bad news in today's day and age. It's cool to be able to kind of put all of that to the side and say, hey, what kind of PlayStation am I going to be playing on as the quarantine continues well into the mid-2020s? But maybe I'll be playing Warzone for a while, because Warzone has added a solo mode to its 150-player Battle Royale just 1 week after launch. Call of Duty Warzone, the new 150-person Battle Royale from Activision and Infinity Ward, is adding a solo game mode just 1 week after launch. Warzone, which is both an add-on to the current Call of Duty Modern Warfare and a free-to-play standalone download, launched on Tuesday of last week, sporting 150-person matches and a series of clever twists on the BR formula that have made it one of the most successful new entries in the genre. The game amassed 15 million players in just the first 3 days. At launch, however, Warzone restricted players to 3-person squads for a total of 50 squads per match. Now, Activision says you will be able to try out a new solo mode launching today for some more variety. It's a pleasant surprise for Warzone fans, especially those who don't have dedicated squads of friends to play with, considering it took competing BR games like Apex Legends many months to experiment with solo and duo playlists. Some tips to keep in mind: buy stations for purchasing armor and self-revive kits, among other perks, are still active. The Gulag reviving mechanism is still intact, and, of course, losing your one-on-one bout will kick you out of the game for good, and as the circle closes in, just as it does in the normal 3-person squad mode. So essentially what this does is it turns off the fill option, and it pretty much just drops you into a match by yourself with a whole bunch of other people that want to play by themselves. I just got off of about 2 or 3 matches just to give it a shot and see how it balanced out, and man, is it good. I got into the top 5 on Xbox. I ended up in number 4 out of 150, and it is very fun. I love the map layout. I love the loot system. I love the simple menus. I think overall, Call of Duty Warzone could be my new favorite Battle Royale, at least in 2020 by far. I definitely like it more than Apex Legends as things stand. And I think that they're going to continue to grow and evolve Warzone into something very, very special, and I would not be shocked to see this get ported to the next generation of consoles. But as for right now, if you want to dive in, the game is up, it's free, and of course the newest update does give you access to that solos mode, so dive in and give it a shot. And if you're good enough, you could stream on Mixer. Or if you're bad enough, you can also stream on... Anybody can stream on Mixer, really, can't they? Mixer is getting a hefty website refresh, a new Xbox experience, and more. Microsoft's Mixer streaming platform has a huge hill to climb to take on the likes of Twitch and YouTube, but Microsoft is not showing signs of giving up in the short term. Today, the team at Mixer announced some major updates heading to the platform as part of a promised focus on addressing streamer and viewer feedback. The most noteworthy change is a big update to the website itself, which ditches the carousel interface in favor of a single large feature block and 4 feature blocks beneath it. Rather than expecting users to scroll through the carousel, and let's be honest, the vast majority likely won't, Mixer is offering the opportunity to instantly and easily see 5 featured partners up front and center. The familiar featured content creators and top games rows will remain, but beneath that, Mixer's algorithm will highlight dynamic categories powered by AI and data gathered by Microsoft, in addition to human programmed content. These could include anything to games or categories you like and community events. Additionally, Microsoft has rebuilt the Mixer experience on Xbox from the ground up, designed for TVs and controller navigation. This will roll out initially to Xbox insiders before rolling out more broadly in the coming weeks. Some of the other changes include auto-hosting for all streamers, letting streamers host their friends' streams automatically with new customization options that let you tailor host priorities, and ad randomness, as well as the ability to set time durations. Emoticons are getting a boost to 28 pixels, making them more defined and less fuzzy looking, and partners will be able to tailor the way ads work on their streams too, setting up ad breaks and intros to help streamers monetize their content. Partners will also be displayed more prominently on the Xbox experience and the homepage than they are currently, and the clip creation system is also getting some improvements, allowing you or your approved viewers to create clips from the iOS and Android apps. As fun as Mixer is, there remains a question over how long Microsoft is willing to compete with the likes of YouTube and Twitch from such an underdog position. Microsoft typically does not stick with business battles that seem insurmountable. However, Mixer has some broad implications for Project xCloud streaming and video game discovery down the road, allowing users to potentially jump straight into games from watching a stream right in their browsers. Despite the losing position, Mixer has some strategic benefits for Microsoft's gaming efforts in this area that may see it continue to receive investment for the foreseeable future. I don't know about that one, Chief. Right now, as it stands in March of 2020, Mixer is beginning to wane in a lot of ways. You see a lot of the biggest streamers on the platform continuing to jump ship. You see those that were offered partnerships begin to, I don't want to say denounce their love of the platform, but ultimately denounce their love of the platform. Even more so, you are seeing fewer and fewer people actually viewing streams on Mixer, and it's continuing to become the butt of the joke in the streaming community. It's not looking good right now for Microsoft's Mixer. Now, one thing I will say, they have invested heavily in talent. You have Ninja, you have King Gathalion, you have so many of these big streamers that have been bought out and brought over to Mixer. On top of that, if you are somebody that is infatuated with the Xbox ecosystem, Mixer seems like a very big deal. If you go on the Xbox dashboard, it's prominently there, ready for you to watch streams, ready for you to converse within the community. It truly is something that is all-encompassing. It's a very cool platform, but right now, I just don't feel like it's doing the best that it possibly could, and really the best that it ever really will. But I hope that things begin to turn around for Mixer. I hope that they can compete with Twitch and YouTube because, of course, any kind of competition is good competition. But right now, I will say, this new homepage redesign, I'm not a fan. I believe that the carousel was potentially a better option here, and I will also say that the carousel was introduced to Twitch's homepage because Mixer first introduced it to theirs. Before, Twitch was a static location, and now it is dynamic where you can scroll through a carousel of partner spotlights. But right now, it looks like Mixer, this could be a step back, honestly. So that's kind of where we're at right now with Mixer in March of 2020. Not looking so hot, not excited about that. However, GameStop has canceled midnight release events. Midnight releases, they're still happening, don't worry, you can still get your games. You just can't go to the events for Animal Crossing and Doom. GameStop will be canceling midnight release events like those for Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal for the foreseeable future, and shutting down demo stations in their stores, according to an internal memo sent to employees this morning and obtained by Kotaku. Until further notice, late-night launch events are suspended, the memo reads. To maintain the health and safety of our guests and associates, it is best that we avoid situations where large numbers of guests are gathered indoors or standing in line. Kotaku spoke with several current GameStop employees yesterday about their concerns for the company's policies regarding the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, in addition to a lack of cleaning supplies to keep stores sanitized. I could have told you that. Have you ever smelled a GameStop? Employees were also worried about corporate inaction on upcoming midnight releases, which would have gathered dozens of customers together into thousands of the retail chain's densely packed narrow stores. GameStop has also asked stores to shut down demo stations, implemented a twice-hourly hand-washing mandate, and instruct associates on ways to clean the Verifone payments terminals. That said, employees told Kotaku yesterday that necessary sanitation supplies are still not being provided through the company's normal supply chain, despite front-facing messaging telling customers otherwise. Employees have been asked to source cleaning products locally, which is often easier said than done thanks to the current increased demand for and hoarding of items like hand sanitizer, cleaning wipes, and toilet paper. So I also saw the post of the entire memo from GameStop. And essentially what they're doing is, instead of doing the responsible thing and closing their doors, they have chosen to essentially create safety bubbles for their customers, putting boxes on the floor in the line that are roughly 6 feet apart, saying nobody can stand within this amount of space of each other. And they're taping these boxes to the floor. On top of that, they're also talking about reminding customers to stay within a 3-foot radius of each other. Don't get close, or I should say outside of a 3-foot radius of each other. These are the bullet points that are in the official GameStop memo. On top of that, they are canceling midnight release events. And I understand both sides of the coin here, because on one hand, you do want to continue paying your employees. On the other hand, it's also hard to pay your employees when your company's almost going bankrupt to begin with and they're not working. And the stores are closed, generating no money. So you see the issue here. It's a bit of a catch-22, some might say. Now, all of that being taken into consideration, I do want to say that, number one, my heart goes out to the employees, the hourly workers, especially the service industry, that is taking a beating right now because of the coronavirus. I'm lucky enough to not be involved in that industry. I'm lucky enough to have a job that continues despite everything that's happening right now, but millions aren't in that position, and that sucks. And that includes those at GameStop, because part-time workers, it's really hard for a company to, from a business and financial perspective, keep them on during this time. What's the right thing to do? Keep them on, continue paying them. But for a company like GameStop and for a lot of other companies, that's probably not viable, and that sucks. But hopefully everything will shake out in the best way possible. However, GameStop has canceled midnight release events for Animal Crossing and Doom. Of course, the games are still available digitally. On top of that, you can still pick up the game if you do want it. But you could always just stay in the comfort of your home this weekend where it's virus-free and protected, and you can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey for free. The excellent Assassin's Creed Odyssey will be made free to play this weekend on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and the entire sprawling game will be yours to explore, and any progress you make will carry over after the free period expires. And you should be able to preload it beforehand so it's ready to go. Also worth mentioning, a ton of people have lifted the data caps, which are pointless to begin with, so if you don't have a data cap anymore, download every game you can possibly get your hands on. Simply play at some point over the weekend and you will unlock the previously revealed Ezio Roman costume, which garbs your choice of. I thought it said grabs, but no, it is in fact garbs. Your choice of ancient Greek hero, Cassandra, an easy decision in the Master Assassin's flowing Renaissance garb. Here in the UK, you will be able to play from 7 a.m. UK time, 11 a.m. on PC, Thursday, March 19th, until 5 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. on PC, Monday, the 23rd of March. The full game is also currently 67% off if you do choose to purchase the game, and of course, there is the full list of when you can actually dive in and give it a shot. Of course, it is pretty much going open roughly at 12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, 4 a.m. Pacific Time on March the 19th on the PC. Then it closes on March 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and 9 a.m. on March 23rd on PC. Of course, one of the better Assassin's Creed games of the past 5 years. Big fan of this one. It's definitely RPG heavy, but it also interjects a good bit of Assassin's Creed gameplay in there as well. Very cool game, highly recommended. And of course, again, you play for free, so why wouldn't you do it? So with that being said, if you do want to dive in, that is available to you this weekend. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed this one, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about today. Do you think we are going to be getting a PlayStation 5 release date tomorrow, maybe even a price point? I would love to hear your thoughts. On top of that, the Xbox Series X controller, Warzone getting solos, Mixer getting a redesign. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter at PrettyChillGuy. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic one. I'll be counting down the moments until that PlayStation 5 reveal, and peace.